Hello everybody, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to compare this beautiful 500 SR Voom with the Kove 450RR. We're going to check acceleration. We'll bring these two beautiful machines in twisties. We'll talk about brakes and so much more. So if you want to see that, then this video is for you. I'll hop on the bike and let's go. It's whistling as if I have like charged this bike, you know? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was saying how good 500 SR sounds and ZX4. Oh my god, guys, when I ride this Kove 450, it's really challenging for me to imagine that 500 SR or ZX4 would sound better than this. The pitch of the sound is so high. I really hope those cameras don't work. If you want to be a hooligan, if you want to commit some crimes on your little bike, and if you're looking for something super lightweight, effortless, which feels almost like a toy, I feel like Kove left you no choice. You need to pick this bike over the competitors, guys. The vibe I get out of this motorcycle is very similar to Yamaha R6. Very similar, and I cannot say the same about the other two. This aggression, this stiffness of suspension. Oh yeah, I'll get myself in trouble, my people. I hope I'll not lose my license after this little ride, because cameras are every freaking where. They're blinking all the time, you saw that. But it's pretty much impossible not to go hard on this bike. It's just pushing me, you know? Not only Kove is the fastest bike, not only Kove is the lightest bike, but it's the freaking cheapest bike. Come on, guys, like what else do you freaking need out of the motorcycle? Ooh. The best acceleration I found today on one of those Chinese platforms was 3.8 seconds. The rider was way lighter than me. The rider was like 70 kilograms, and me with a backpack with a gear, I'll be more than 90. The torque is well distributed. It feels as if torque is available pretty much everywhere, so much so that the bottom end torque feels good as well, which means that this bike is a little bit jerkier than all those other inline 4 motorcycles from the same displacement. As a downfall of this bike, I would mention that it doesn't feel as well built, as well assembled as CFMOTO or Kawasaki. As I ride, I constantly hear some noise coming from the front part of the bike, like squeaking, cracking, something like that, especially when I'm braking. Let me stop and maybe you'll hear. I don't know. Yeah, it's like cracking a little. But you know what's funny? As I'm doing that, I'm kind of lifting the bike a little just because it's so goddamn light. It's crazy. This bike doesn't feel as well made as CFMOTO or Kawasaki, but Kove is a very radical brand here in China. Not only in China, like I feel like Kove might be one of the most radical brands so far, because they truly try to create an outstanding product, which is super light, which is super cool, and I feel like they're doing great. Again, this bike isn't perfect. The brakes aren't as good as on CFMOTO or Kawasaki for this matter. They're just not as predictable. I would say that the brake lever is not as predictable, but simultaneously we have many different ABS modes, which is cool to see. We have power modes, which is cool to see as well. We have traction control, so pretty much this bike has everything other than ride-by-wire. If you would ask me, which bike would I choose? Kove for 50 or CFMOTO, or maybe Kawasaki? I really like Kawasaki, guys. Kawasaki was a very luxury bike to ride. I really like it, but it's by far the most expensive motorcycle, so I'll skip on that. Then we have CFMOTO and Kove. 2024 year model of Kove costs 29,990 RMB or something. So it's less than 30,000 RMB, which is totally unheard of. All right, haha, that was fun. Oh yeah. Yeah, over time, guys, my wrists feel a little bit bad, just because, I mean, this ergonomics is way too sporty for my liking. If you would tell me that I have to pick one, CFMOTO or this, given that I ride in a city most of the time, I would definitely pick CFMOTO, just because it feels more refined, it feels more stable, I guess, even though this bike is extremely stable as well. Nonetheless, I would still pick CFMOTO because ergonomics would be a little bit more relaxing. But if I would be purchasing a motorcycle for a track, or if I would be going on twisties like I did just now more often, you know, guys, I feel like it's really hard to beat this bike. But when you ride Kove, you have to be focused all the time. You cannot relax at all, at all. And this is a unique trait of this motorcycle, because on Kawasaki and on CFMOTO, you still can relax. These two bikes, they're not forcing you. They're not forcing you to go that hard. Meanwhile, this Kove, this is the best thing it can offer. It can offer you this ridiculous sound, this exhilarating acceleration, it can offer you a lot. But it will not be the best, the most optimal motorcycle for a street, for sure. That was a good one. It's raining. Brakes are so freaking great. U-turn challenge on CFMOTO 500 VOOM. I mean, not bad. Oh yeah. Yeah, this additional weight, guys, is non-existent when you ride like this. You just don't feel it. If anything, I would tell you that actually it feels even more goddamn stable. Yeah, so probably this chrome molybdenum steel alloy is no joke. It does feel different from Kove, even though this bike is heavier, but it feels so goddamn good. And again, guys, we are riding in wet conditions. Oh, dogs, I don't want to scare you off. Hey, little doggies. It probably is not a good idea anyway to sit on the freaking line, but yeah, I hope that they know what they're doing. Yeah, guys, as I ride this beautiful CFMOTO in twisties, I feel incredibly addicted to this bike. Oh my god. And brakes are so predictable. They're so much better than on Kove. So much better. How freaking epic is this, huh? The only thing which stops me from enjoying this moment to 100% is that this is not my bike, and if I would drop this beautiful baby, I have to pay for it. Oh yeah. If not for that, I feel like I'll go a little bit harder on this beautiful beast. Alright, let's go! I'm drenched! Oh my goodness! All those manholes and things like that feel like nothing. This bike is really freaking confident inspiring, my people. They're like some bumps, you know? They're like blind corners. It's freaking pissing rain, and still I feel freaking good on this bike. And this is my second time riding this beautiful machine. In twisties, this is my first time. Oh, yes! I still hope that you can see something, because probably the camera is covered with those annoying raindrops. But I hope you can see what I see, because my helmet is all messed up as well. Alright, alright, alright. Stay concentrated. Beautiful. Oh. Yeah, it's outstanding how good this bike feels, even though we have absolutely horrible conditions. Like, terrible rider, I would say. And still, I feel good. I feel as if I know what I'm doing. This bike is very, very pleasant to ride, no matter what conditions we have. Look at this view, my people. Look at this view. Really beautiful, right? Alright guys, listen, just now we were... Holy shit! We were riding in twisties, and I expected this bike to be less maneuverable, less flickable, I'll not lie. I thought it would be really hard to beat Kove. On Kove, I was a little faster, but I was faster because the weather was good. This time, when I was riding this beautiful CFMOTO, like, it was raining, and I felt kind of, I don't know, I felt bad in terms of rain, because I'm not the most skillful rider, especially given that twisties is not my area of expertise. And yet, this is the area of expertise of this beautiful CFMOTO 500 VOOM SR. How well did this bike feel in those goddamn twisties? Yeah, guys, it's like really strange, because this bike is really heavier than Kove, like 30 kilograms heavier. It's heavier than Kawasaki, and yet it feels just incredible. Like, such a mystery. I do think that this molybdenum chrome steel alloy gives this bike something special. I really feel like this might be the biggest difference. And other than that, guys, just this suspension, which is so smooth, resilient, and nice. This incredible quick shifter, the throttle response, everything on this bike is like top tier quality. It feels so good. We don't have a single, you know, nasty, annoying noise coming from anywhere. Just like really well built. And something tells me that this bike would be very reliable in the long term as well. I do trust that CFMOTO, they do make and build really reliable motorcycles. Again, my NK800 had some problems. It was leaking coolant, and there was some other minor issues. But I mean, guys, every single motorcycle has some tiny problems, right? This power is very pleasant. This motorcycle is indeed street oriented. It doesn't force you to go hard. It tells you to do what you want to do. The ergonomics is kind of sporty, but it's kind of relaxing at the same time. You don't feel tired at all. After riding Kove 450 for like 2-3 hours, I felt it in my back. Ergonomic wise, if you will just check the footage, these two bikes, Kove 450 and SR 500, they look pretty much the same. So I don't really understand why I feel this big of a difference riding these two bikes. It feels like a totally different bike. Again, if you're looking for a track machine, if you're looking for a motorcycle which would be way more suitable for a track, I feel like it's still really hard to beat Kove. This bike is more aggressive, it's jerkier, it's way stiffer. It's meant to do only one thing, and one thing only, to race on a track. And I see that many people, of course, they want to buy Kove 450 for a city, just because it looks and feels cool, right? And I would tell you, actually, I would argue that Kove sounds more like Yamaha R6. And I feel like Yamaha R6 is this sweet benchmark of this top tier inline 4-cylinder sound. Right, guys? And I feel like Kove, when you rev it up all the way up to 16 goddamn thousand RPM, would sound even better than this 500 SR. But the difference will be pretty much negligible because this bike is really, really, really good in terms of its sound. From 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, this bike might be slower than Kove. It will be slower than Kove. And it'll be pretty much the same as Kawasaki, but given that we have 10 extra Newton meters of torque, something tells me, guys, that after 100 kilometers per hour, if you keep this bike at 8, 9, 10, 11 thousand RPM all the time, this bike would just kick the ass of those two other motorcycles. I feel like it'll be faster. This bike is really awesome, but my favorite part about this bike, other than this extreme stability and smoothness, I would say it's like brakes. Brakes are so good, and they're very predictable, so much so that I can pretty much do stoppies every single time I want. Those are not crazy rolling stoppies and so on. If you just grab the brakes, ABS would engage. But this ABS is not intrusive. It's like really good, really good. So brakes are awesome, really awesome. And this is not J1, this is not Brembo. This is, oh, by the way, bad bump, and I felt nothing. The caliper, guys, comes from CFMOTO, 300mm dual-sided disc, 4-piston caliper, and the caliper is really good. So much so that I'm thinking maybe CFMOTO should put the same caliper on SR675. What do you think? Right, guys, this was my comprehensive comparison between VOOM 500 and Kove 450. Please let me know what you think about these two bikes in the comment section below. Which bike would you get? And please tell me why. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And as always, guys, I'll see you in my next videos. Please stay safe, and bye-bye, everybody. Take care.